viewers, welcome back to our math class. We have another question on the logical reasoning. Show that into the brackets of A and B and C is same thing as A and into the bracket of B and C. First thing that we have to do is that we have to try to get the number of rows we are going to have in this question. So by doing that, we have to try to figure out the number of rows we are going to have on this true value. Now, how many variables do we have? We have A as our variable. We also have B as our variable, and we also have C as our variable. So therefore, this will require 2 to the power of variable that we have. How many variables do we have? We have 3 variables, which is same thing as what? 8. In this case, we are going to have 8 rows. Now, for each column now, that is, we have the column A, B, and C. So for each column, for column A, for this column A now, we are going to have what? 4 truths. Then followed by what? Followed by 4 false. Then for column B, we're going to have 2 truths followed by what? 2 false. And it will repeat itself again. While for column C, we're going to have 1 true followed by 1 false. And this will continue repeating itself until it is up to what? 8 truth values. Now in this case, let me draw our table. We are going to have the table for what? Our table contains A. It also contain what? B. It will contain C. Let me do this first. For our A, I said we are going to have 4 truths. That is, we have true, 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 and truth. Why for false? We are going to have 4 false. False, false. Last one, what? False, false. That's making how many? Making 8 rows. For B, we are going to take it to 2. True, true. False, false. True, true. False, false. We are done with this. Why for our C? For C, we are going to have what? For the first column, we are going to have what? In this our column C, we are going to have 1 true, 1 false, like that simultaneously. 1 true, 1 false. True, false. True, false. True, false. Good. Now we are given that we want to show that A and B and C. So now what? A and little bracket what? B and C. Now on our table, we are going to need this guy. We need A and B. We also need B and C, followed by this my right, my left hand side, which is A and B and C. Why the last one will be what? A and into the bracket of B and C. So this is what I'm going to have in that side. Now let's move together, guys. If you can recall that I told that we are using AND. If the first one is true and the second one is true, the statement will be what? Will be true. Now the first one is true. I'm making use of these two guys. This one is true, this one is true. I'm going to have what? True over here. This is true, this is true. I'm going to have what? True. This is true, this is false. If it's quite different from true, true, it's going to be what? False. True, false, we have false. True, false, we have false. False true, we have false. False true, we have false. False true, we have false. And false, false, we are going to have what? False. So over you have false, it's going to be what? False. You call that for and. If the first one is true and the second one is true, your conclusion for and statement is going to be what? True. Otherwise, it's going to be what? False. This is for what? For and statement. When the first one is true and the second one is true, your conclusion is what? True. Now let's move to the second. We have what? We have B and C. B and C. We are taking care of these two guys now. If the first one is true and the second one is true, I'm going to have what? True. True, false. It's going to be what? False. False, true will be what? False. False, false will be what? False. True, true will be what? True. True, false will be false. False, true will be false. And false, false will be what? False. So I'm done with this part. Then the next one is this compound sentence or statement and C. That is, I'm dealing with these two guys now. I'm dealing with this and this. If the first one is true and the second one is true, or if the second one is true and the first one is true, your conclusion will be true for and. That is, true, true will be what? True. True, false will be false. False, true will be false. False, false will be false. True, false will be false. False, false will be false. True, false will be false. And false, false will be what? False. Don't forget, I'm still making use of this statement for what? And. If the first one is true and the second one is true, your conclusion for and statement will be what? True. Otherwise, it's going to be what? False. Now we have A and this compound statement, which is what? This and what? And A. And this, if this one is true and this one is true, we are going to have true. Otherwise, we are going to have what? False. Now, true, true. We have true. Don't forget that I'm dealing with these two. These two only. So, true, false. It's going to be what? False. True, false. I'm going to have what? False again. True, false. I'm going to have false again. False, true. False, true. I'm going to have false again. Then false, false will be false. False, false is going to be false. Then false, false will be what? False again. Therefore, these two compound statements are what? Are equal to what? One another. These two what? These two compound statements are equal to what? One another. So therefore, A and B, this is a compound statement, and C is equal to what? Is equal to what? A and the compound statement of what? A, B, and C. So hence, this has been proved. Because we have true, the same value throughout. Look at it. We have true, true, false, 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 false. Don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel for more exact video. Bye bye.